This is for people who want to achieve more faster without sacrificing their mental health, especially if you struggle with procrastinating and continuously pushing things off until tomorrow. I personally have tried watching people that were way too advanced, like Ali Abdaal and Matt D'Avella, and I just kept thinking like there's something wrong with me because everything they tell me just doesn't stick. I failed for years to understand that it took them years to become who they are. So I was constantly thinking that I just didn't have discipline, I didn't have what it took to be that kind of person, that there was something wrong with me. And this led me to just keep giving up on my habits because I kept overcomplicating everything. And honestly, I was just so sick of everything, and I finally found a solution. And I was able to finally start making progress with my habits and my goals. So I want to go over what worked for me without getting overwhelmed. And the key to all of this is to simply just get started. What do I mean by this? Hi guys, I'm Michaelyn and welcome to my channel. I talk about improving yourself and your life. So if that sounds like your vibe, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and to subscribe, and let's get right into it. Number 1, facing your fears helps you grow. What you want is right outside of your comfort zone. And I even dealt with this when I first started out on YouTube. I just didn't know what the hell I was doing. I overcomplicated it and I kept pushing it off for months. I was so afraid, I overthought everything, and I just wanted it all to be perfect. But here's the thing, when you first start out, it's not gonna be perfect. It's gonna be messy. And the sooner you get through that and the sooner you just get started, you figure out what is actually gonna work. And starting small will make it a lot easier. If you overcomplicate it and you make it into this big project, you're never gonna do it. So just keep it as simple and easy as possible. Sometimes you may not even know what you want because you're so used to being comfortable too. So that's why it's so important to go out there and face your fears and do things that just don't feel good because they're not going to feel good right away. It takes time for them to feel better. And the longer you stay comfortable, the longer it's gonna take to get through the hard things and for it to get easier. So just get into it. Do the thing that you keep pushing off. Do that thing that you're so afraid of, because the sooner you do that and the sooner you stop avoiding it because you're afraid, the easier it'll get. It's also really important to expand your view. You really want to make sure that you're not just focusing on what's in front of you, but what's ahead of you. So instead of the things that are in front of you, which are like daily chores, urgent tasks, something that's like right in front of you is what I'm talking about. You want to stop doing that every day. You want to lift your head up and look ahead more. You want to have bigger goals and do more things instead of staying so small-minded and closed off and just what's in front of you. And staying comfortable is only going to hurt your future self. This is something I wish I learned years ago. It took me so long to understand that. You got to think bigger, be bolder, and do better. And number 2, take up space. I know you're staying small, girl. You got to take up more space. Don't be afraid to show yourself to the world. Post that damn selfie. I know you're taking them. And you know what? Everybody's so afraid to go outside and record themselves, but you've got people doing it all the time. It's become normalized. There's influencers doing it every single day. You can go out there. It's just a brief moment in time is what I'm trying to say. They may judge you. That's okay. They will forget about you in like 20 to 30 minutes, right? You doing that is going to help you get after the thing that you want. If you are afraid of recording yourself, but you want to be an influencer, how will it ever work? The sooner you do it, the easier it gets, and the better you'll get at it. And seriously, stop waiting for the best time to do it. Stop waiting for that perfect sunny day. Stop waiting for everything to be perfectly aligned, because it never will be. And even if it is, you'll still find some reason to keep pushing it off. You just gotta get into it. And when you're hanging out with friends too, you feel like if you say something, you're gonna say the wrong thing. That's okay if you say the wrong thing. People can laugh together. They're not gonna laugh at you. And even if they do, figure that out. The sooner the better, right? Because you don't wanna be spending time with people that are laughing at you and not laughing with you, right? So stop being like that. And number 3, we have ask more questions. Be curious about things. When you go to the OBGYN, for instance, and you don't know what birth control to get, and they're just telling you, oh, just take this, ask more questions. See which birth control is best for you. Make sure that you're getting all of your questions answered. I was always so afraid to ask questions, and I wish I'd asked questions sooner because I got drawn into things that weren't good for me. I took certain birth controls that didn't work with me in a way that made me feel the best that I could be. At the time, I needed birth control, but honestly, I'm not here to tell you if you should take birth control or not. I'm just telling you to ask more questions with your doctors, your OBGYN, anywhere you go in life. Ask more questions. Don't be afraid to do things that are outside of your comfort zone, because the sooner you do that, right, the easier it'll get. And you're going to be able to find if certain things are good or bad for you. And don't just ask questions, ask for help. People want to help you. There are so many people out there that are good at certain things that maybe you're not good at too, right? Maybe you really suck at writing. Well, there's people out there that are so good at writing and can help you write that thing that you need to get written. You could pay them to help you do that, right? Instead of making yourself suffer, because so many of us do that. We think we have to do everything ourselves and that, no one can help us. People want to help you. People can help you. And people are so good at the things that they love. So have people help you and stop doing everything yourself. And remember this, ask and you shall receive. If you don't ask, if you're not the squeaky wheel, you're just going to get walked all over. No one's going to care. You got to speak up. You got to ask questions and you have to ask for help in order to get the things you want in this life. Let's keep moving. Number 4, experiment. Something that works for someone else may not work for you. Each one of us has a different mind, a different body, a different way of life, different opinions, different values. Certain things may just not vibe. Some things in my video right now may not be a good fit for you. What I always like to say is try it on and just keep trying things on until they work for you. Don't get so stuck in this I must do it this way because the person I look up to does it this way and it works for them, so it must work for me too. It's not going to be like that for everybody. What works for somebody may not work for you, or maybe eventually it will and you can keep trying at it, but don't get so stuck in that way of if it's not working, there must be something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you, girl. You just may not be that kind of person that can do that thing or eat that certain food or wear that certain type of clothing or talk that certain way. Everyone's different. We're all on our own different journeys. And the more you experiment, the sooner you'll find out what's actually good for you and what's not good for you. And that also brings me to what I learned way too late in life, was that planners don't work for me. I tried every single planner. I tried bullet journals. I tried Passion Planner. I tried just any planner I could get my hands on. And it just never worked. I couldn't stick with it. Every single time I tried to use a planner, it just fell through. I couldn't stick with a planner for more than a couple weeks. I would drop it and I'd get so mad at myself. And that's another thing. Stop getting mad at yourself. Stop torturing yourself. Just accept it and keep trying new things. Keep experimenting until something works for you. And the best thing that worked for me, which may not work for you by the way, but you could try it, is just pen and paper. Just a simple notepad. That was it. And that has really helped me. But the only way I found out that this worked was by experimenting. I kept trying. I kept seeing what worked and what didn't work. And the sooner you start trying new things and experimenting, the sooner you'll find out and you'll be able to move a lot faster. And let's keep moving. Number 5, value your time. Girl, I know you're spending time with the wrong people. You're not respecting your time. Time doesn't get bought back. You cannot buy it back. You can buy a lot of things in this life, but time is a very powerful investment that you must be treating wisely. Stop wasting your time on the wrong people. Stop wasting your time on the wrong things. I know you're probably rewatching the same movies and shows. What is that doing for you? All that's doing is holding you back. Stop with that shit. And so many people say yes to things that they don't want to do. That is the thing that I learned way too late in life. I wish I had learned that sooner. I would always say yes to family parties that I didn't want to go to. People that I didn't like, I just didn't get along with. It doesn't have to be this way. You don't have to say yes to things that you don't want to do. People will make you feel bad, but only for a little bit. And listen, you can change your mind. If you want to go back and spend time with these people, you're allowed to do that. There are no rules to life, okay? You just do what works for you and value yourself and your time and respect yourself. And I want you to do this quick exercise. I've been reading this book called Be Your Future Self Now, and what he had me do really helped, honestly. I want you to think about yourself 20 years into the future, okay? I want you to think about how what you're doing right now will never happen again. And I want you to enjoy what it is that you're doing right now. When you come home from work and let's say you have a cat or a dog, you snuggle the shit out of them because they are never going to be that age again. Maybe they're 4 years old right now, right? 20 years from now, they're not going to be alive probably. Let's be real here. They're not going to be 24 years old. So cherish the time that you have right now. Appreciate what is going on right now and live your life the way you truly want to. Not what other people want you to do. Stop people pleasing and stop living this expectation of what your parents or your friends want you to do. Just please live your life for you, because you can't get this time back. And I wish somebody had told me that sooner. I really fucking do, because I'm so pissed off at the fact that I've wasted so many years with the wrong people, doing the wrong things, making myself really sad and depressed and unmotivated. Surrounding myself with better people has been such a game changer. And honestly, I wish people knew this. I hope that this video gets out to more people. And if you really like my message so far, please give it a like so we can reach more people on this. I have one more thing to go over for value your time though. Make sure that you are subscribing and you're following and you're seeing things that you want to see and not things that are making you sad and depressed and mopey. For instance, like on your Instagram feed, you can scroll and you can say, I'm not interested in this, right? If there's something that comes up that is just not your vibe and it's making you sad and you're like, ugh, this is just not what I want to see. These algorithms are pretty good these days, but sometimes those things slip through and you just want to start saying, not interested, unfollow, unsubscribe. Get these people out of your life. You don't need that negative energy. There's enough negative energy in the world and we just don't need any more of it. Try to keep yourself in a positive, happier, flowier state of being, because that's what's going to make you the happiest. And my last one here is number 6, point and call. This is something that I relearned from my favorite book, Atomic Habits. I'm actually listening to it again. I've read it, I listened to it, and this is my second time listening to it. And honestly, James Clear just did such a good job with this book and I highly recommend it. But let me tell you what point and call means. So anytime you're doing a bad habit, let's say you're scrolling and you don't want to be scrolling anymore, like you're kind of like doom scrolling, right? You got to be like, I'm doom scrolling right now. Point and call on it and put your phone away. Hide it away from yourself. Get it away from you. That's what I want you to do. If you're doing a good habit, let's say you're eating a healthy meal, right? Like you're eating Greek yogurt for breakfast instead of Pop-Tarts. Be like, I'm eating Greek yogurt. I'm really happy about this. Talk it out. Let your brain understand. Like every time you talk, your brain lights up and it's like, oh, this is good, okay? Or, oh, this is bad, right? Anytime we point it out, we're going to be reminded if it's good or bad. So that's what point and call means. You just want to point out the good things and point out the bad things and tell your brain like, hey, this is what I want to do more of and this is what I want to do less of. And listen, if you want YouTube to recommend more of my videos to you, be sure to scroll down, tap on the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time, bestie. Bye for now.